Hey guys, and welcome back to Chris Captures on the channel. I just wanted to start off straight away by thanking you so much for the support that we had on the last video, first manga video. It was very much a change of pace for me, doing like a scripted video with not me in front of the camera and having to like do voiceover and find visuals to go along with it. But thank you all for the support. It's probably been my fastest growing video in terms of views probably in years since I did like a Pokemon video back in the day. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. And this video is going to be my entire manga collection. I've got all of my books laid out in front of me on my desk, and I'm going to go through with you guys what I've bought so far, everything from my collection. You can probably see I've got a big empty space up on my shelf up there. That's where my manga normally is, but it's all in front of me now. So when I started buying manga, I started buying like brand new copies and stuff like that. And obviously there are great deals out there on eBay. But as I learned, sometimes you can sort of be stung with the quality of them. So I really wanted to start reading One Piece and Bakuman. And I saw a lot on eBay with 5 books in it. This is a 3-in-1. So I was like, okay, it's basically like 7 books for, I think it was £11 including delivery. So I don't know how much that is in dollars. Basically, it worked out as less than £2 a volume. Just over £1 a volume including delivery. So I thought I'll pick up a 3-in-1 of One Piece. I remembered loving watching it as a kid. So I thought I'll pick it up. I really wanted to get into reading it. So I thought I'll try it with a 3-in-1 and then I can obviously build my collection from there. And I wanted to read Bakuman. Now, there weren't many images on the eBay listing, and they had them all packed very tightly together, all stacked on top of each other. The spines present reasonably well. I was like, okay. They also showed it like this, laid down, with Bakuman, which is the best quality condition volume on top. And I could see that a couple of them were yellowing. Well, that's just all. The One Piece one was yellowing. I thought, I'll read it. If I like it, then I'll buy a brand new copy. I'll sell these on it and stuff like that. What I didn't realise was the condition of the other volumes are very much in like bad condition. Like I said, Bakuman, great condition. One Piece, very, very yellow. Looks like the colour of the light's changing here as the sun's going in and out. The actual pages aren't like yellow, so it's just around the outside, but some of the pages look like they're about to fall out, and it is very dinked up on the corners and stuff, which I'm kind of a stickler for the quality of my stuff. I don't mind if after a few years of me owning it, it's starting to look a little bit weathered, obviously from reading and stuff like that. I don't mind too much if I do it myself further down the road. So I was a little bit disappointed with the condition of that, but like I said, I'm going to upgrade in the future. These ones are where the issues come from. D. Greyman, I don't know anything about these books because I haven't read them yet. So D. Greyman, it's starting to yellow a little bit. The page quality is perfectly fine. But if you can see down the front cover, we have a huge crease down it. And yeah, not great. It is not quite colour breaking crease on the front. They smell okay. They're from a smoke-free home. So that's a plus. 07 Ghost, another series I know nothing about. This one is not in too bad a condition except for around the edges. The covers have like a plastic coating over it which gives them that glossy feel and make it last a bit longer. But this is all starting to peel off. Clearly whoever was reading it has manhandled it a lot. And also, these first couple pages look like they're about to either come out or a few pages are already missing from it. If somebody can tell me if this is how the book's meant to start, because it looks like this is a contents page and there would have been a front cover here. So I think I'm actually missing a couple of pages from the front because it looks like we just jumped straight into the story. I don't know. If somebody could tell me if I'm missing pages from this, from 07 Ghost Volume 1, please let me know in the comments down below. And then Bleach. I've never read or watched Bleach. I've heard about it for years since growing up. I was always a little bit afraid to get into it because it had a very die-hard fan base and a lot of people said it was very up and down the series. So I kind of stayed away from it, and when I was getting into anime and stuff like that, there was a hell of a lot of episodes and I didn't want to dive right in straight away. This one presents quite nicely, but the back cover, look at the shape of that. It's missing a big chunk out of the back of it. And that's also out of the back, say, like 5 pages. It's got this chunk missing out of it. So somebody's clearly just taken a knife or a pair of scissors to the back of it. So again, if I like it, I'll read it. It's readable condition. If I like it, I'll trade this in. I'll pick up my own fresh volumes. So like I said, Bakuman also came in that collection. This one is in near enough pristine condition. It's got a bit of a soft corner here, but other than that, absolutely pristine. And this was like one of the main books I wanted to get it for. It was this and One Piece. So I'm really happy about that. I read this, fucking loved Volume 1. If you checked out my last video, I gushed about it for quite a while. Go back and watch that video if you want to hear my thoughts on Bakuman. So I picked up Volumes 2 and 3. One of my local shops on their web store managed to get these back in stock because manga seems to be really difficult to get in stock in the UK at the moment for a lot of issues, especially like Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer selling out really quickly, and My Hero seems to be out of stock a lot. So picked up 2 and 3 to continue reading. Haven't read these yet, but these are my next read after I'm reading JoJo's at the moment. Spoiler alert for the future. So again, on eBay, I picked up Battle Royale. Now this copy is quite beaten up on the edges, but with the style of the cover, it's not wholly noticeable. But it is an old Tokyo Pop print, and these are so hard to get hold of for decent prices at the moment. So I just picked it up anyway. I love the Battle Royale films, and I've read, I think, half of the novel, so I wanted to pick these up. So I got it for a super cheap price, so I picked this up. I didn't mind the condition based on the price, and I know in future if I wanted to sell it on to get maybe, I know they do hardcover versions of it where I think it's 3-in-1s or 2-in-1s. I'll upgrade and sell this one on, and I know I'll get a decent price for it. I went down to my local Waterstones, which in the UK is a chain of bookstores. It's pretty much the only chain of bookstores that we have left in the UK after, say, Borders shut down and a lot of the Works shut down. I know the Works online do manga. They never had it in my store when I was younger anyway. So I went to my local store and they had the first 5 volumes of Beastars. So I picked up Volume 1. I've not checked out the anime yet, so I wanted to dive in fresh with the manga, so I only picked up Volume 1. I didn't want to throw too much money at this series in case I wasn't a big fan of it, because anthropomorphized animals aren't always my bag. I do like it sometimes when it's written right, and this is a bit more of a mature series, so I really like how it's written. It's not very childish. They use animals as obviously allegories for other things. So yeah, I picked this up at retail, brand new spick and span copy. Love the artwork inside of this. It's a really, really interesting art style, which it's a simple art style, which I think lends itself to telling a story that anybody can get into. And the simplicity of it allows them to stretch the artwork, the art style of it. Like, it can get quite dark in there, and as they add more detail in, obviously things can become more frightening or grotesque or what have you. So I read Volume 1. I was really digging it. So I think I'm going to either check out the anime first, or if I go to my local bookstore before that, I might pick up Volume 2 or 3. I might try and get the girlfriend to read this one as well. If you watched my last video, you know I'm hooked on Demon Slayer right now. So I've got the first 3 volumes of Demon Slayer right here. Like I said, this is getting quite hard to get in the UK at the moment, as the popularity of the series is still growing, and the movie has just been released in the UK. I went to see it opening night. Phenomenal. Demon Slayer volumes 1 through 3, great read. Everybody knows about Demon Slayer, so I don't need to hang on that too long. I also bought all these at retail as well. So I think I paid about £9 for these 3 volumes, including delivery. So £3 a volume for the original Dragon Ball. We got Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Not got around to reading these quite yet, but I've watched Dragon Ball a handful of times, so I know the plot. But I am excited to read it instead of watching it. I think it'll have a different feel to it almost. So, Dragon Ball, first 3 volumes. I will be picking up the rest of them. Once I've read them, I'll probably decide if I want to pick up the box set and then sell on those 3 volumes, or whether to just keep trying to pick them up secondhand. Then I've got Fairy Tail Volume 1. I talked about this in my last video. I was gifted this years and years and years ago before I ever read any manga. I was gifted this from my sister for a birthday. She knew I was into anime and stuff like that, so she picked me up Fairy Tail and another volume which is coming up later on. So I finally read this now that I'm into manga and stuff like that. I just kind of sat on the shelf in amongst comic books and DVDs and books and stuff like that. This is a new shelf, so I didn't sit amongst this shelf, but at my last place, it sat amongst everything. I have watched about 80 episodes of the anime of this as well, so I knew exactly what was happening going into it. That was probably about 6 years ago now, though, so it was a nice refresh. I think the world's really interesting and the power system's really interesting. I think sometimes it's just they drop the ball on the writing and it's very generic and some things don't make sense. It feels very much like they are trying to do their rendition of One Piece almost, and I don't want to smash Fairy Tail too hard. It is still interesting enough to stand on its own merits, but it does feel like a bit of a clone of One Piece. So after that, this was a present because I loved the anime and I wanted to get into reading it. I got the 3 hardback volumes of JoJo's Part 1. I started with Part 1. I think Part 1 is better in the manga than maybe in the anime, although we all love Dio, but I really enjoyed reading Part 1. I know it's most people's least favourite JoJo's part, but it's essential to have if you're going to start collecting the manga. You need to start at Series 1, I think. You don't need to necessarily read it first, but you've got to own it if you're getting all the other parts. And these volumes are stunning. I'm a little bit gutted that Part 4 doesn't look the same. These covers are cool, but I would have rather had them look like this and fit in with the parts 1 through 3. I know it's a different, I'm not entirely sure. I think they're being distributed differently, these parts. They're still Viz Media, so I'm not entirely sure, but I think there was something to do with the rights of it being distributed. So they've done it so the spines look nice next to them. They've still got that classic like leather-bound book aesthetic to them. But yeah, so that's JoJo's Part 4. This is the one that I'm currently reading. It's also what I'm currently watching as well. So this is Part 4, Volume 1. I'm loving it. The addition of some more coloured pages. There's like a whole chapter which has got like the red tint to it that they do every now and again. It's got that, but it also has a few pages of full colour, which is really interesting. I wasn't expecting it. Loving Part 4 of JoJo's right now. Anything JoJo's, I'm here for. Part 5 has just started being publicated in English, I think, as well. Moving on from JoJo's, we've got Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. Sad news, I think, broke today or yesterday that it's going on indefinite hiatus. It's not actually currently going to end its print run, or its story at least, because the creator has got serious health problems at the moment, so it's on indefinite hiatus, which is heartbreaking to hear. I love this series so much. Season 1 of the anime was incredible. The art style and like the power structure and everything like that, like the characters all feel so good in this, and it just makes me want to see more of the demons and everybody's powers, how they keep evolving. Like every time you talk about your powers, they seem to get better and better. And I really want to see what happens with Yuji Ichidori as the story goes forward and it gets more stronger with the more fingers of Sakuna that he eats. It is Sakuna, isn't it? Sukuna, sorry. So, yeah. Loving this series at the moment. Now, you can't actually see down here, but I have a huge Kingdom Hearts collection. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. It's such a dumb, lovable franchise that makes no sense, but I love it. And my sister knew that when she bought me gifts years ago, so she bought me Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, Volume 1 of the manga. That's a mouthful of a title. I haven't read this. Again, like I said, I got it with Fairy Tail when I wasn't reading manga, but now I am, so I will read this eventually. So this focuses around Roxas and Axel. I think it follows the story of the game pretty directly, but that is yet to be seen, obviously, as I read it. After I finish Volume 1, I'll figure out if I want to read the rest. This will be the first time I'm ever reading a written adaptation of a video game. Except for like Injustice, but the Injustice comic books take place way before the game, so it's very different. It's very different. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days in the collection. Next up is the last one that I read, which is Komi Can't Communicate. This, going into it, is not typically my genre. I'm typically more of an action shonen or sci-fi type of guy. This is very much a slice of life comedy, but everybody is going wild for this on the internet at the moment. Everybody is picking it up in the collections. A lot of people who have similar tastes to me have checked it out and read it, and they really enjoyed it. So I picked it up. I did really enjoy Volume 1. It was funnier than I was expecting it to be. It was also a lot more delicate with the subject matter than I thought it might have been. A bit of a slow start, I think, but we're getting there, and it's definitely something that I'm going to check more volumes out of. I'll probably give it until maybe like Volume 5 or something, and if I'm not 100% on it, I might drop it from then, but I'm definitely going to pick up more of Komi Can't Communicate. So, another one that you saw or heard about in the last video, Neon Genesis Evangelion Omnibus Editions, Volume 1 to 3, and then 4 to 6, so the first two omnibus volumes. This one is in mint condition when it arrived to me. Pages are still yellow, and still not yellow, still white, I meant, sorry. Issue 1 has definitely been read a lot more. It's got a small crease down the spine, but I don't mind that. This looks absolutely stunning. The visuals, you would have seen it in the last episode if you watched the last video. I put some stills from it. I love the Neon Genesis franchise. I tried watching it years ago, couldn't really get into it. Started again. Was it last year now? Can't remember if it was last year or at the beginning of this year now. I gave it a full go and finally understood what he was trying to say. I had a greater understanding of like psychology, sociology, philosophy is the word I was looking for more than anything. So I really hit a number with this, and I love it. The artwork is incredible. The manga actually is a little bit different towards the end because they were writing the manga as they were creating the anime, and things happened with the production of the anime, which meant story beats had to be changed and stuff. So certain characters appear a lot earlier in this, and their arcs are slightly different. And then if you've watched the 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 films, they seem to take a bit more from the manga while also telling their own story. So it's interesting getting like 3 different versions of this in popular media, and then obviously we've got the games which have their own narratives as well. So it's insane to think, but I'm excited to see how this not converges, but diverges from the anime. But yeah, that's Neon Genesis Evangelion. If somebody wants to send me some dope Neon Genesis swag, some like cool t-shirts or something like that, I'll happily take it. This one I picked up just before the boom on it started. This is Ultimo, original concept by Stan Lee. I'm a huge Silver Age Marvel fan. I'm a big Marvel fan, bigger DC fan typically, but Silver Age I love. All of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's work. So Stan Lee doing a manga, I had to pick it up, and like I said, I got it just before the boom. These have shot up in price. I'm glad that I got issue 1 because this one is so expensive now. Issue 1s or volume 1s are always the most expensive volumes normally. It's normally that and then like the key volumes and stuff like that. So I'm glad that I've picked it up. It's a superhero robot, I believe. I'm really excited to read this. Eventually, I've got some other stuff that I'm going to read first, but I'm excited to own this one. It's in the collection ready. But yeah, Ultimo. Also, the artwork is super cool. It screams like late 80s, early 90s anime and manga to me. And then finally, the last issue in my collection at the moment, I got this from a recommendation from Gigguk UK or Gaunt from Trash Taste. This is Zom 100. He recently did a video where he was sponsored by Viz Media and especially Zom 100. And this just seems straight up my alley. I love zombie comedies. Anytime you can bend the zombie genre, it makes it so much more interesting. Shaun of the Dead is one of my favourite films. So a zombie comedy about completing a bucket list after the apocalypse has hit just sounded right up my alley. Look at this cover as well. Neon pink. It screamed fun to me, and just flicking through it, like, the The art style is great. It gets really dark in there at places. The art style reminds me a lot of the artist that does Kaiju number 8. But yeah, super excited to read this. This is probably going to be the next one that I read after JoJo's before I go on to Dragon Ball and more Bakuman. Just because I've got the one issue for now. Depending on how much I like it, Volume 2 is out in the UK now, so I'll pick up Volume 2 if I like it. So yeah, let's put it all back on the shelf and show you what my collection looks like. So up here on the top shelf is where I keep my manga collection with some of my many pop vinyls and a little Star Wars section over here. So I'll quickly move these out of the way. Hellboy and my Diva mech with Mini Diva inside. So this is what the collection looks like at the moment. I put JoJo's Part 4 back in there because I'm currently reading it at the moment, but I wanted to show you what it all looks like together. And with the way I've currently got it set up, I can't actually fit Comey Can't Communicate back in here quite yet. That's the one that I just finished reading before going back onto JoJo's. But as you can see, we've got it all in alphabetical order, in series order as well. So all the way through from, I put my numbers at the front. So numbers, then it'll go A to Z, Zom 100. There we go. So that is my manga collection so far. Considering I only started about a month and a half ago, I think my collection's going pretty well already. I am very chuffed with what I've got so far. I've got some great deals, and also I found some series that I really want to collect full runs of. So that's what I'm going to probably try and prioritize at the moment. Instead of starting too many series, I'm going to try and build these ones up first, unless it's like a really hot series that you guys think I should start collecting. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of my collection so far. Let me know what you think I should pick up next, whether you think I should continue with these series or get on to something new. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Follow all the socials. I'll have them on a card in just a second. The podcast, my Twitch. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you know when a new video is going live. And I'll leave a link to my Discord below as well, where we do have a chat for manga and anime as well. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.